Now that the classic demo has finished, I took some time to sit down and collect my thoughts on it. I haven't played on any private servers or anything of that sort, so this was my first time reliving the vanilla experience since it was live. I was a little hesitant at first. I wasn't sure how I was going to react. My heart was telling me I'd love it, but my mind questioned it a little bit. What if I didn't like it? What if I'd gotten so used to how retail is now that I wouldn't thoroughly enjoy the classic experience anymore? What if my first few moments of playing it was great due to the nostalgia aspect, but shortly after it fizzles and I get bored or tired of it? I'm happy to report that none of my doubts actually came into fruition. Yes, it was very nostalgic for me, but I didn't tire of the gameplay either. In fact, it was really refreshing, rewarding, and I felt a renewed sense of community by playing. Let me go into more detail. Here are my thoughts condensed into 5 points. Enjoy. So let's talk about spells. One could easily forget that a spell in Classic could have multiple ranks to it, and each rank had to be learned from a trainer. Sometimes you wouldn't even have enough gold to learn all of your new spells, so you had to pick and choose which were the most essential. In playing the Classic demo over the past week, this was something that I almost forgot about until I opened up my spellbook. A tactic players use with spell ranking is using each rank strategically. For example, on my level 17 priest, I had 3 ranks of lesser heal. Rank 1 was only a 1.5 second cast, and healed for a lower amount. Rank 3 was a 2.5 second cast, but healed for a significant chunk more. I alternated between using these 2 ranks during the demo. I used rank 1 when I needed a quick, inexpensive small heal. When I needed a larger heal, had the time and mana to cast it, I used rank 3. Healers use lower ranks of spells and raids to conserve mana, but this tactic could be used just as well in PvP and PvE alike. So what are other examples of common lower ranked spell usage that you guys know about? Or did any of you practice this technique as well in the demo? Questing. So, you log in for the first time, accept all your quests, open up your map, and realize it's blank. There's no marking on the map where to go. You have to actually read the quest. I remember back in the day trying to read the requests on where to go to complete the objective, and if I couldn't find the answer, I had to alt-tab out of my game and refer to Thoughtbot. Which, by the way, WoW had just announced that they recently brought back Thoughtbot comments made in vanilla from their classic WoW section, which is really awesome. For questing in Westfall, this was fine for me because I'm very familiar with the area and its quests. But when I was solo questing through the Barrens, I did feel a little lost. My experience playing Horde during vanilla was playing 2 undead characters, so I never had the true level in the Barrens experience. As a result, I didn't know where to go for all the quests. Without any help from the map or a friend, this made the Barrens feel a lot bigger and more challenging. That being said, once I was able to find out where to go and what to do, it was a lot more rewarding. I finished each quest feeling accomplished. Sure, I wasn't power leveling, and in fact, on a lot of the demo characters I made, it took me on average about 3 hours to get from 15 to almost level 18. The pace was a lot slower, but way more rewarding. I thought about how I usually feel in BFA when I get a Titan Forge upgrade piece of gear, versus how I felt getting a really sweet green upgrade on my demo character. Honestly, I felt way more of a sense of accomplishment after getting an upgrade on my demo character. Is it because my BFA Titan Forge upgrades are all RNG based? And my demo upgrades were because I finished a quest? It was hard for me to pinpoint exactly, but that's how I felt. Professions. I'm happy they included some professions on the demo characters. What I completely forgot about was that for gathering professions, you had to cast the ability from your spellbook to enable it to be viewed on your minimap. On my paladin, they gave me mining and blacksmithing. I had to click show minerals to view them on the minimap. If I died, I had to remember to recast it. Not only that, but when you did find a mining node, you had to pick it up at multiple times. In retail right now, you just mine it once and collect all the materials in one go, with multiple people being able to mine the same node. But here, as you could see, you have to mine it until it disappears. In Classic, if you see a node, you have to mine it, or else somebody else could take it from you in addition to that. The difficulty in gathering materials for your profession and crafting the gear felt a lot more challenging and rewarding. Sharding and loot sharing. 2 of the major changes noted right now are sharding and loot sharing. Having multiple players in a zone, but not able to interact with each other or see each other is how sharding works. It reduces load on the servers to prevent large amounts of people overwhelming an area. This helps with big launches and other huge world events run more smoothly. My issue with sharding is that it takes away from the true, authentic vanilla experience. I watched Mad Season's video on his thoughts about the demo, and he took a poll to see whether or not people wanted sharding. It was pretty much split down the middle, which was surprising to him. He expressed that he would prefer not to have sharding, just so that he could experience what it was like to be in an overcrowded, overpopulated, vanilla area, struggling to complete quest objectives. As frustrating as that sounds, I have to agree with him. It's way more authentic that way. Same thing with loot sharing. I really do hope Blizzard reconsiders their decision on loot sharing. I haven't seen anyone in the Classic community who agrees with this decision. It would just entirely change the dynamic of the game. Going back to that authentic experience, being able to obtain loot was a huge deal, and it added to the sense of accomplishment and achievement for your character. I remember how awesome and special it felt to get my first epic piece of gear from Molten Core back in the day. With the ability to trade loot, it'll be easier to obtain loot, and in turn, also feel less authentic. I understand why Blizzard decided to do this. They wanted to make it less of a headache on their GM team for the flood of tickets from players asking to swap gear, with a player who accidentally received it, and so on and so on. But again, it would completely change the dynamic and authenticity of that vanilla feeling. So for me, I say no to both sharding and loot sharing. Community. Lastly, I want to discuss the community. The sense of community that I felt playing the demo in barely over a week was immense in comparison to any that I feel playing BFA. It was great running into people I know and waving at them, and everybody just seemed so genuinely happy and helpful to be playing. A story that sticks out for me is when Pasta and I were completing the Lighthouse quests in Westfall. One of the quests there is to kill Old Merc-Eye. I knew that people were camping Merc-Eye for gear, so I thought it'd be hard to get a tag. Once we saw Merc, sure enough, 2 level 19s were already camping him and had tagged him. I asked if Pasta and I could join their group to get the kill for the quest, and practically before I even finished asking it, they already invited us and made sure that we tagged Old Merc before they killed it. They were happy to help us with the quest and wished us luck once we parted ways. Something that seems as small as that gesture goes a long way. Our friends over at ClassicCast hosted 2 dueling tournaments. Tips Out Baby ran the Horde side and Stay Safe ran the Alliance tourney. For me, spectating those 2 tournaments was incredible. There were so many people hanging out in one area and just having fun with the game. It felt really genuine. So those are 5 bullet points of the thoughts that I've collected in playing the Classic demo. Right now we're about to get started with a Project 60, so if you guys are interested, we're on the Moonguard server and I'm gonna post a link in the description below of the Project 60 rules. Yeah, anybody's welcome to join. I'm also curious what you guys think about the Classic demo, so feel free to leave comments in the section below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and you could sub to my YouTube channel or follow my live stream on Twitch. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'm really looking forward to Classic, and we'll see you soon.